Women of Reddit, what about men baffles you the most? That you really can be sitting there thinking about nothing. I asked my so what he was thinking about once, and only once, because he will never top the answer he gave me. Me. Babe, what are you thinking about? Him. How to hog tie a panther. Obliviousness. It was New Year's Eve in 1999. I just knew my BF wanted to tell me he loved me. We were walking around in the freezing snow and he kept stopping and saying, looking all shy, "I have to tell you something but I'm scared." I assured him it was okay and I wouldn't laugh or anything. He took a deep breath, paused, stared at the sky and with complete seriousness said, "Have you ever seen your own farts?" Edit. I cannot wait to tell him that thousands of people from Reddit now know that he asked me if I've ever seen my own farts at the most romantic time in our lives. Edit number 2. He was not oblivious for not wanting or thinking to tell me he loved me. He was oblivious for thinking that asking me if I'd ever seen my own farts was an appropriate question at that particular time. My girlfriend asked me once, when a guy has to pee, does it feel the same as when a girl has to pee? How are we meant to answer this? That your penis really does have mind of its own. It's crazy how it just gets hard whenever it feels like it. I am a dude. It is awful, especially in the JR high school years. Literally nothing you can do to stop it just doing its own thing. Can be seriously embarrassing. Crap, man. I'm freaking 33 and it still happens. Walking into the store? Random boner. Walking out of work to lunch? Random boner. Go to get my haircut? Okay, that one is actually less random and more that it's pressing against the back of my neck, but thank God for those giant aprons they give us to hide the giant boner, right? A man's need to stand up a damp pee is awe-inspiring. I am an ICU nurse and have seen men try to rip out breathing tubes, IVs, pull themselves up when paralyzed, all in the name of standing up to pee. So, you have a catheter in means nothing to a man who feels the need to stand up a damp pee. Every time I hear the word catheter I scream a little inside. Please, I'd rather have my bladder rupture. How their balls manage to age quicker than they do. They've seen some crap, man. They see their closest friend get beaten to within an inch of his life almost daily, sometimes twice a day. Edit. RIP my inbox. Sorry guys, apparently 2 times a day is rookie status. Clearly I am a man among gods. Also my first gold comment after 3 years ungilded is about masturbating. You stay awesome Reddit. Plus the neighbor is in bumhole. This is a really random question but one I have been asking myself for a while and am too ashamed to ask someone in person. When guys have to pee and poop, do you pee standing up and then sit down and poop, or do you just sit and pee and poop together? 2 birds 1 stone. This. You get used to pooping while standing. They can turn anything, into a sexual innuendo. Well, at least my so can. Duck pics. Why do you send them out the blue? I don't want that. Edit. It was great reading what you all had to say, no sarcasm. Was very surprised and relieved to have gotten 2 duck pics, or shaft shots as someone said. Nice Rooster Teeth reference. I've never gotten a duck pic but I've friends who have and they are always so distraught and turned off, which I imagine isn't what the guy wants. I understand that there are girls who do enjoy them. Good for them. They should get all the duck pics they desire. And to the person who brought up the naked man, there's a difference in that you're there in person and it's not just your duck. But I get the reasoning. You have all helped me. Thanks. Being able to fap when you're not even a little turned on. Just doing it because you are bored. That's my secret cap. I'm always horny. The way they are just as moody as women, but still complain about women and their emotions. What's the appeal of sucking on boobs? I mean, it doesn't actually do anything for you, right? I mean, it feels awesome for us, but what's the appeal? Men like boobs. Anything that involves us interacting with them is a plus. Women wonder about balls a lot. When they think they'll be less of man if they talk about problems, things that bother them. Personally for me, I don't talk about my problems things unless I see there could be a possible solution. If I can't even fathom a solution, I don't see a point in talking about it or even complaining about it. The ability to wag one's penis, and the look of pride when doing so, that's not pride, that's delight. It's just an enjoyable feeling. How do you guys do that thing where you take off your shirt with one hand from like behind the neck? I'm serious. Other than that, I think I'm past the point of feeling baffled by anything you all do. Pretty much the same way we deal with other stuff. Brute force and ignoring the pain it might cause. This is exactly it. Pull as hard as possible, and when you hear a cracking noise from the shirt, be happy that you're a man and buy shirts at $10 for a pack of 3. Same thing applies to tight shoes. Too tight to get in without untying them? Jam your index finger in there and make it happen, even if it feels like you might lose the finger for good. That sometimes during a conversation, you can really not hear the other person. I can't think and hear at the same time, dude. Why some of them say they want a strong and confident woman, and then get mad when you act like anything but a simpering little princess. Disclaimer, nothing I did was mean or anything, just normal standing up for myself of handling my own business. This has happened a couple of times to myself and others, haha. I don't get why men and boys seem to be so fascinated with farting, butts, and poop. Why? Because the man with the biggest dump is made chief alpha of the tribe? How men can get into a knockdown drag out fight and then be best friends moments after? How does this even work? How do men drop grudges after they drop their fists? Why do men, or maybe just my son and his dad, flush the toilet before they're done peeing? I've never gotten a complete answer from them. It's like it's some secret guy code thing. For me it's a game timing thing. Can I time my flitch to go down perfectly with my pee? Ending your fascination with butt 6. How come little boys' way of playing with something is to try to break it? To find out how it works. Your fascination with butt stuff. How the Adam's apple moves up and down according to whatever pitch the male is speaking at. I find it amusing, yet strange. The ones that assume they need to have money to impress me. Back when I was dating, I occasionally had guys tell me that they wanted to spend time with me, but couldn't afford to take me someplace nice. It seemed to weird some of them out, or at least confuse them, when I told them that if they wanted to spend time with me, we could go someplace cheap, b, we could go someplace free, c, we could go someplace reasonable and each pay for our own, or hey, novel concept, d, I just got paid and can take you out. Most of them took it like an insult. In the meantime, I'm over here like if I'm impressed or not has literally nothing to do with the contents of your wallet. WTF? Why must you hump me when I'm bent over? Why they don't get how sexy they are? Not in the way they usually think, muscles, but the way they work their hair when they think no one is looking, little half smiles, shirt riding up to show their skin, stuff like that. Dudes doing little things can get a lady wet as hell, and it seems like that part of male sexuality is glossed over in our culture. I know you straight guys don't get it, but we love looking at you like looking at us. Whenever I explain this to male friends, they look at me like I'm nuts. Why is it so hard to believe? Cause no one tells us we're 60. No one is constantly patting us on the back saying you look good as you are, or telling us this looks good on you like women get. Rarely do men get much praise for being who they are, especially compared to women. Men look around and see they get no attention for being men, at least not obvious attention like putting up a selfie on FB and suddenly a flood of women tell them they look cute. All media seems to point to one thing: you are worth fuck all unless you are something, or you do something. You are not Kamanohanshin. You are that guy who saved kittens from a flood. You are Kamanohanshin, the CEO. No one gives a fuck about Kamanohanshin in stories. It's the king or the knight who is important, men who are something or do something. All these guys tend to have something in common. They are powerful, they are in shape, and they are smart or witty. No one goes on about the hair. They go on about how their arms bulged as they threw that dragon across the room, or how they outsmarted another army and pulled the victory out of the jaws of defeat. So we assume no one is looking at us for us. We assume everyone is looking at what we do. What role do we perform in society, or what we have done to make us worth something? The idea that simply being who we are is attractive is just lost to us because all our lives we've been shown we're worth nothing at face value. We have to earn our right to be people. That's why the random goons are all gunned down our men, and are all nameless and faceless. Because they are. They aren't people because they aren't the big boss or the protagonist, or they have something about them that makes them part of the story. The chick, simply being female, makes you a character. In media, it's a trope. The men all have to have something about them, the nerd, the leader, the bumhole, anything. It baffles me that your ball sacks are always moving. I've seen one, once. The skin is just moving all the time. WTF? Edit, I lied, I see sack on the daily. I mean the skin moving. Farting all of the time and not even feeling a little bit embarrassed. Most of the times indifferent, sometimes proud. Punctuating your sentences with farts. Farting as loud as possible. My boyfriend started doing this like 3 months in. I have accidentally farted about 3 times in 6 years. Actually, it baffles me how much friction there is in a man's butt crack. How little they cry. I've been married for almost 12 years and have seen my husband cry exactly 3 times. He's probably seen me cry at least once a month. I've only seen my dad cry once. How absolutely nonchalant dudes can be about medical issues. Oh, I have a serious cut on my arm? Screw it. Crazy glue band-aid. Edit. Guys, seriously, my husband is an EMT. I know the difference between a serious injury versus not. The etude is the baffling portion. Sheesh. Why are men so grossed out by periods? It's a natural thing. And you guys love poop and other gross stuff. Plus you like blood and gore. So why do men cover their ears and run as soon as menstruation is mentioned? Disclaimer, I am not one of those girls who talks about their period, ever, because society tells me it's wrong, and I don't know why. Sorry Wendy, but I don't trust anything that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die. How you can be in the middle of a conversation 1 second, and just zone out a second later. As a guy reading this, it went from dark jokes to meaningful life lessons too darn quick. When men birch about high fashionable girls and makeup, but will turn around and completely ignore the low maintenance, no makeup, ponytail, jeans and girl tee type of women. Edit, thanks for the gold, but Christ, this isn't about me. I am sort of a tomboy and I have a lot of guy friends, male cousins, etc. I am going off based of what they say. I have a boyfriend. This isn't about me not being able to snag a guy. How much some penises grow during erections, like holy crap, where did that come from? Where does it go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Are all guys like that? I've also only seen a flaccid penis once. I know show airs supposedly exist, but I have yet to encounter one. There's also like different levels of flaccid. And I'm not just talking cold water. Like I just had a semi but not it's gone versus I've been riding my bike for 3 hours are two vastly different beasts. The penis waxes and wanes like a cosmic meat tube in the sky in your pants.